Stay tuned for sports.
Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. The Dream.
It is Sunday, October 8th. Hello and good morning, friend.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
Now, how was your week? You all right?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right,
things are good.
Good, I'm glad.
Things are good.
Keeping busy.
Busy at work.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
So what
a little
happened
overwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah, like a couple of nights, they're just like down and out, like 2-3 pushes. It's like usually like 1 or 2 rushes, and then the night's over. I got that third push. And it was just a little bit like I was in the weeds. I had the weed whacker out. Yeah.
Making all that money. Oh.
Yeah, what am I going to do with it all?
I don't know. Let's go shopping.
Oh, wow.
We'll have a great
You
time.
can spend it, right?
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
I spend money I don't even have.
That's nice.
It's fantastic. Yeah,
Can't take it with you.
Nope, I love debt. So I don't know who's going to be getting it, but it's not.
This chick's
I'm not-
chasing it.
It's not. Whatever. You only live once. And then debt consolidations happen. Yeah. So, nothing really crazy this past week. Actually, it was kind of a slow week, which I appreciate.
Good. Nice sometimes.
Yes, it is. I thought the public should know.
Yeah.
Business cards are coming.
No,
Those are ordered. We have a new logo, and I've looked into merch. So things are going to be happening. I posted. Did you see when I posted on Facebook our new logo, Keeping Score with Jess and Dean?
I did.
Did you see that people put like I'd buy something with that logo on it?
Really?
Yes.
No, I didn't get that.
Well, that's what we're going to be doing. So get ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the merch part? So what do you mean on merch? Like
sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Shirts like that, the quarter zips, and I'm going to do. You know how you gave me that the Johnston?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shirts like that with the logo on the side. So I'm getting everything priced out. Not cheap, by the way. So we're just going to be dipping into the. Steve gets one because he's our producer.
Okay.
But we're gonna look into some Nike, Under Armour, and some Champions.
Just keep me posted. Let me know about the expenditures, and we'll figure it all out. We could use a couple of more sponsors. Wouldn't hurt.
Oh yeah, that'd be. Oh, we could put their logos
It'd be
on
nice. It'd be nice.
That would be good.
Well, they have to be on board with us.
We put their logos on the sleeve.
They have to be.
Let's write that
we
down.
need commitments. We have commitments, but we need more commitment.
Yeah, I know. We're brainstorming this right now.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
we're doing this on the fly here on
That's good.
October 8th on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. But listen, we're shaking and we're moving and we're building. All I asked you to do is do business cards, but it's okay.
Listen,
I'm just telling you.
I took it next level. We got the new logo. We're going to get some merch. We got the business cards are coming. So, I mean, when we're wearing the gear out, especially during the season, you know.
Thank God I had a good week.
Yeah. I'll just charge it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Now, when everyone sees it,
Just
they're going to want it.
plastic.
I'm telling you that everyone's. I have an Apple Card. Dangerous. Anyway, when people see it, that's it for Christmas. Everyone's keeping score with Jess and Dean.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. So good. I'm glad you're on board with that. I don't really have much more for you besides the fact that, last week we were kind of cutting down. We kind of rushed the last 10, 15 minutes. So I think we should get right into football, and then we'll go from there. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right.
Jones with a play fake. He's in the pocket, pressured. Max starts to roll to the near side. He's sacked. Ball's picked up by Van Rush. A fumble, a scoop and score.
Ball gets put on the ground, scoop and score. Here we go, chasing 14 again. Gross.
Mack dropping back, rolling right, pulling up, looking back, throws it inside, passes picked off. Goodbye. Deron Bland to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the end zone.
What I tell you about throwing back across the green? You're going to kill yourself at some point.
Second defensive touchdown today here in Dallas. Jones rolling right, being chased by Parsons. Throws to the ball, batted down, incomplete.
What are you doing? I mean, this is you gotta think about pulling.
So I think at this point,
I mean, it's
with 23 seconds to go in this half.
I said they might get the ball back, and he almost gave it to them on the 20.
And a lot of soul searching, no doubt. In the next 6 days before the Patriots take on New Orleans next Sunday.
Oh, yeah. That was some painful stuff. I knew that we both said they were going to lose. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I thought they'd cover the spread.
No, I thought they'd play a good football game and just lose out to more talent on the Dallas side, of course. And it wasn't even Prescott. He had a nice game. He was pedestrian. He did his job.
Right.
But this game was over before it started. And again, what did Zolak say? You're chasing 14 again. Mm-hmm. How many times can you do this? You just don't have the firepower to come back. And, of course, you saw Mack put it on the ground, the scoop and score. And, of course, in every sport, you have rules of thumb. I'm a baseball guy. They tell you never make the first out at third or never make the first out at home plate. Those are like cardinal sins. Well, in football, the quarterback doesn't run to one side of the field and then throw it all the way back across. And the funny part was he had the audacity to do it twice. He threw one to Bourne.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
And he'd almost like Bourne had to like kind of corral it, and he kind of bobbled it, but he made the play. I'm like, all right, don't do that again. He does it again, and and he threw a water balloon. It was just like up in the air for an hour. He threw rain. It was awful.
Maybe he could do his next job.
I mean, it wasn't rocket science for the corner to pick the route. I mean, it was done. I mean, this game was over before it started. It was not enjoyable, and I found myself saying, I'm going to go do a target run in the third quarter and go get some things for the house. I was unwatchable. And you could tell even when Zappe came in, you weren't looking for a spark there. You were looking for him to just hand the ball off, get the bus,
and start going home.
Charged up, and let's get back to Foxborough and regroup because this is bad. And add insult to injury, Jess. You lost your two best defensive players of the year. Your best edge rusher in Matthew Judon, 15.5 sacks last year. 4 sacks this year through 4 games. He's been terrific. And the safety on Zach Wilson in the Jets game. You lose him, he probably won't be back this year. He just had
why
surgery.
would you come back? Even if he could, I'd be like, I'm good.
And, of course, Christian Gonzalez on that tackle. You lost your number 1 corner. Good news just came out. Looks like Jonathan Jones will be back for this game on Sunday. I'm looking for any silver lining. We will look ahead to New Orleans.
As long as he's not locked up.
So you lost your 2 best players, and it's two best defensive players. And as you said, you're built on defense. When you lose those 2 guys, it's going to be real difficult to replace those guys.
They were saying all week that Mac Jones does better in like perfect conditions. Well, when you're in a dome and there is perfect conditions, that certainly wasn't the case. Is it crazy for me to think that Bill O'Brien is like, why did I take this job?
Well, everybody has to be accountable. They're averaging about 13, almost 14 points a game, and 3 points on Sunday. The offense looks, I want to say, like last year, but it looks a little worse than last year right now.
Worse.
So I don't know if the pencils in Philadelphia right now laughing at us. I don't think so, but it's not. We're not seeing the progression. We're not seeing anything. You're not seeing anybody like Schuster. Nobody's taking the step forward. Parker, you're not seeing it, and Mac's not making the throws, and he's not seeing it. What disappoints me the most about this particular game is, you know what you kind of have in Mac. If you put a good team around them, you've seen him for 2+ years now. If you put a good team around them and a good offensive line, which he doesn't have, okay, you figure he can at least make good decisions. And now you're seeing that he made some bad decisions in this game, and there were 2 or 3 picks that you just, on those clips where like they weren't picked off. Right. A guy with some good hands, he could have thrown 4 or 5 picks. My point is, you expect him to at least make solid NFL decisions. If he can't do that, there's no point. You can't keep running him out there.
Let's see. Now, neither one of us played professional football. Let's talk or hear from a guy that did.
I would say that there was definitely some mistakes that Mac Jones has made that was probably brought up throughout the week on not to make those mistakes. And when you make mistakes that are brought up throughout the week, Coach Belichick gets really frustrated with you. He got benched last year, and Bailey Zappi went in. He just got benched 2 days ago or 3 days ago when they were playing the Cowboys, and that's strike 2. So if he gets benched again and he makes another mistake that they've been, going over throughout the week, and then he shows up on Sunday and makes that mistake, he's going to get benched a 3rd time, and that will be strike 3, and he will officially be out as a quarterback of the New England Patriots.
Now that's Gronk giving his opinion on Coach Bell. I think that's Coach Belichick is a completely different coach than he was when Gronk was playing, by the way, because they can't bench Mac because he's just not going to do it. And then I don't know where Cunningham is. I guess they're never going to bring him on the field. But I don't think you can bench Mac. I especially after seeing Zappi play last week, not great.
It was the right move to take him out at that
point.
Correct, for that
because it could have been 100 to 3.
At that point, there wasn't anything you could hold your hat on to say, all right, one bad decision. It was one after another. The scoop and score. He's rolling out, trying to go left to throw it 2 yards to the guy in front of him. There's just nothing going on offensively. There's no cohesion. There's no fluidity to it. And whether it's O'Brien or whether it's not having the weapons, I look at the wide receivers. They're terrible. They just don't have any receivers. So
they don't get open.
I can't blame Mac for everything, but like I said, running on one side of the field and throwing back across when you don't have the arm strength to do it, he doesn't make the throws. He doesn't pump it in there quick enough.
He seems like a quarterback that needs to set up. There are a lot of guys that you watch in this, like the little side thing. Aaron Rodgers does it all the time. He just whips things in there. This guy needs to step back, push off his back foot to get any power because he does not have the arm.
I agree with you, but also you have to have playmakers, and they don't have them. But if you watch like Mike McDaniel and his Miami Dolphins, of course it's nice when you got Waddle and Tyreek Hill and you got players. I get it.
Ooh, Tyreek didn't wear socks apparently.
Watch them, watch their offense, watch the play calling. It's just you don't even know who's got the ball. Sometimes there's so much movement going on. I guess what I'm trying to see is if Brian can get some guys to just create some movement where you can't really pick up on the fact that guys don't have the foot speed. If you keep guys in motion, it just seems like McDaniel's more of an innovative type play caller, and it just seems like Miami's just always got movement on offense, and the Patriots it's just the same thing. And I've told you this for 4 weeks. Even when they make a play, it seems like it's so hard to get to the chains. Parker catches a ball at 7. All right, Stevenson's only getting 2-3 yards.
I know
carry.
what's wrong with him.
I don't know, and it's just Zeke's okay. It was back in Dallas. There's a little storyline there, really much to do about nothing. The game was over before it started. It was really, really, really tough to watch, Jess. And
what's the name of the kicker that misses all the time that we made sure that this
Chad
is what we
Ryland?
draft?
Yeah.
We draft a kicker in special teams, and they do nothing. That was the whole point. Folk would have had that.
Now,
it doesn't matter.
From what I hear, I told you I mailed it in for a Target run in the third quarter.
Get anything good?
I
Toilet paper, paper towels?
Got some necessities, okay? I have to ask you, I guess there was a play, or not a play, but I guess it was 4th down, and what was it, 38-3? It was already 38-3.
Yeah.
Did he try to kick a field goal, like on 4th and whatever, and he shanked it, I guess. So what was the upside there? Try to give the guy confidence that he might
to
put
get
it
to
through
double digit? I don't know.
Well, a touchdown would have got you to 10.
Right,
I think 3 would have got it to 6.
I
What do we
know.
do?
No, but it's just
Right.
keep kicking to get to
No,
12.
It's just
They
it's
suck.
It's tough. It's tough to watch, and I don't know if it gets worse before it gets better. This is a big week as we look forward. Now we have to put Dallas behind us. You lost your 2 best defensive players. So
That's the worst part.
you're coming home and you got New Orleans, and this is a big week for Mac Jones. It's a big week for Bill Belichick. And I know I was told by Dan Copen 3 weeks ago. I got not laughed at, but he couldn't believe it. He's like, you're already talking about draft picks. The season hasn't started.
Right.
Well, okay, now if they lose at home to New Orleans, you're 1-4. I'm looking at what the Bears are doing. I'm looking at what the Cardinals are doing. I'm looking at some
Houston.
of the drugs. Well, a team that I said will win two in a row, and they won 2 in a row. By the way, we'll get into them. The kid C.J. Stroud should have been the number 1 pick in the draft.
Real deal.
He was number 2. Bryce Young, I always said was a little small. We'll get into that later. But right now, this is a big game against New Orleans, and I'm just glad it's Derek Carr coming to town. I'm not saying it's going to be a victory for New England, but I got pretty good faith that Belichick can still do some scheming on defense to give Carr a hard time.
All right, let's thank our sponsors first. Then we'll go into talking about the Saints, and then we'll do our Week 5 review. Want to thank our sponsor, Prout Mechanical, located in Providence. You can call them up at 401-487-4343. Even visit them online at ProutHVAC.com. That's ProutHVAC.com. They're a family-owned company. They have over 20 years of experience. They're a Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Diamond Elite contractor. They have the heat pumps, the mini-split ductless systems, and if you're looking to heat up your home, the mini splits are the way to go. They're located in Providence, and they service all of Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. They offer services for residential and light commercial. So if you are looking at getting those heat pumps or mini split ductless systems, may I recommend Prout Mechanical in Providence. Their motto, quality and customer service is their top priority. Call them up 487-4343. We also want to thank Second Time Around Sports. If you love the cold weather, if you're into winter, well, Second Time Around Sports got you covered. They're ready for the ski and snowboarding season. Well, they got in stock pretty much everything. Snowboards, skis, goggles, boots, gloves, ski poles. They got everything. And of course, everything is new or used. So you make your pick. And of course, they're all stocked up for wrestling and all your mat needs. I never wrestled before, so I don't know what goes on the mat, but those things are very tiny. And Second Time Around will definitely help you out. Did you wrestle?
No, and I'm just glad that you didn't either.
Anyway, both stores are getting busier with all sports. You can always check them out. I always say to check them out on social media because it gives you a nice little sneak peek of what they have in store at the number 2X Around Sports. But you can also visit them online at everysportforless.com. That's everysportforless.com. We're talking about Second Time Around Sports, and the weather's getting cooler. And if you love skiing or snowboarding, they got everything you need. All right, back to football. Let's talk about taking on the Saints today, 1 o'clock. By the way, this is how bad. So Bobby, we went over. Bobby has Red Zone because I made him get it. And then he's like, well, when the Patriots are on, we watch the full game. Because
I'm good with that.
Even him was like, where's Red Zone? Flip back to Red Zone. Couldn't watch it. Painful.
Yeah,
Let's
tough.
see what Week number 5 brings us against the Saints at home, 1 o'clock game. Derek Carr is expected to play. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, and I'm anti-Carr. I mean, he can put up numbers, but he hasn't even really been doing that this year. They're happy to be 2-2 right now. They lost at home 26-9 to Tampa Bay in Mayfield. That was a little surprise, even though I think you picked Tampa in that one.
I sure did.
And I also have to step up. My picks have been awful, just so you know. Without spreads,
I'm not winning any money.
Without spreads, my picks have been awful, and I need to step up. I need to step my game up. I'm tired of getting marrying to these teams that I know are going to burn me. I keep sticking with them. I can't keep saying I'm going to take Joe Burrow till I can't anymore. I'm picking the best team, and that's it now. I'm frustrated with my picks, and I'm like, however the chips fall.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm very frustrated.
I'm very excited.
But we're on to New Orleans now, of course. 1 o'clock start today in Foxborough, and obviously Alvin Kamara came back last week. It was a little odd that they didn't give him the ball out of the backfield.
Right, weird.
They were throwing it to him. He had 13 grabs, but for only 33 yards, so not much explosion there. Like I said, you're looking at the two receivers. Chris Olave, the kid out of Ohio State, he's terrific. And Michael Thomas is finally healthy. They've got 22 and 23 catches, respectively. Look out for those two guys. And Jonathan Jones, we just found out, looks like he'll be back for this game. Add J.C. Jackson to the mix. They bring him back from, in a trade with the L.A. Chargers. So now you got a little bit of help because Christian Gonzalez is out. And, of course, we all know Matthew Judon is out also.
Should we be worried about J.C. Jackson's knee, the meniscus prob, or what? Or him staying out of jail?
Well,
which one's first?
The good news is, I like where you're going with this, but the good news is I guess that all the legal stuff got settled.
Yes, because he just has to do an online course or something like that. So
right.
Great.
So it was kind of convenient that he got
we
traded
just get
back.
all the best players.
He got traded back to the area where it all happened. But he was a terrific Patriot for a few years until he signed that 5-year, $82 million deal. It was a total bust with the Chargers. He was a healthy scratch the last couple of weeks. So he got hurt last year. So obviously in the second year of this big deal, like you said, the Chargers are going to pay some of the cheddar on that one, or most of it.
Like 9 of the 10 million.
So the Pats had to get a body. And a lot of people around here in Patriot Nation are saying, okay, yeah, you need help. You lost your top cornerback, bring Jones back, but you also need help on offense. And it's just, isn't it funny how Bill always goes out and gets defense, but never helps the offense?
No, doesn't care. I don't think he likes Mac Jones.
Go get a receiver. Go get somebody. I'm not, and I mean, we'll talk about it later, but the kid, Chase Claypool, who was told to stay home by the Bears last week, was traded to the Dolphins. So the Dolphins just got a little bit depth on the team. He's a good player. He's a head case, but he's a good player.
He was on the Steelers too, right?
He was on the Steelers. He was a head case there. He's a terrific player.
But he was excellent.
He was excellent. He got traded to the Bears. He's a problem off the field.
Oh, great.
And
He's on the Dolphins now?
He got traded to the Dolphins the other day, and he was told last week he was a healthy scratch. Matt Eberflus said, just stay home, and we'll work out something. He finally got traded, and there's a lot of people around here saying
Bears won.
that the Pats weren't even in the mix for him. I think he went for a late-round pick. So Miami, dropped 72 weeks, so they need more offense.
Well, he could be a poison, though, in the locker room, and he and Tyreek Hill could not get along. Who knows what happens, but they won't win.
If he's coming over to think that he's going to play ahead of Waddle or Hill, he's delusional. No. So his agent better get to him, or someone in the PR department, because he's not sniffing it over those two guys.
Well, anyway, back to the Patriots and not getting anybody for offense. It is funny to me, if you're, let's say, a Saints fan, all right, we're talking about the Saints and how they have two people that they can throw to, and then Kamara's back. If you were commentating for the Saints, they're going to be like, all right, we got the Patriots, we got nothing. We don't have defense.
Nothing.
Now, Mac Jones is not a threat. Who are they going to worry about? Bourne?
Yeah,
it's not Juju.
It's tough defensively, too. When you mentioned, with Judon and Gonzalez, you lost your top edge rusher and your top cornerback. So you lost one guy on the backside, one guy on the front side. But back to the offense again. We've talked about it before. I don't know what's going on with Stevenson this year. There's no burst. He's in a contract here. Maybe the Zeke Elliott thing. You always need two running backs, but maybe the Zeke Elliott component, they're kind of splitting them. I think Stevenson's more of a rhythm runner. I think he needs more reps. To have him in one series and then the next series it's Zeke, I think that may be taking something away from Stevenson. I'm just saying I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know what?
That's
who doesn't know?
possibility.
Bill O'Brien doesn't know either. So maybe you should help him out, because the whole offseason, well, we got Bill O'Brien. What? Nothing. Just as crappy, I almost swore, just as crappy as last year.
Let's just go into this game today and just hope that Mac at least can take care of the football, because, again, we've talked about his decision-making. It's been poor so far. We always assumed that from day one that he was a guy that was a heady guy coming out of Alabama, could make the throws. Maybe he doesn't have the greatest arm strength, but at least he make good decisions, take care of the football, not turn it over, and give your team a chance to win. You're built on defense, but it didn't look, in the Dallas game, it looked like he pressed and he tried to do too much, and it's just not his talent skill set.
I'm looking for a talent skill set. If they lose tonight, or today rather, what do you think the future of the Patriots is? Are they going to be looking at Bill, thinking about getting another coach? Are they going to be like, hey, maybe we should get a new quarterback? I think that'd be dangerous to get a new quarterback just because it's like, do you re-sign Mac, I guess, too? Like
so
with the fifth year.
So we've talked about this. You're in year 3. They always say by year 3 you know what you have.
Right.
Okay. I don't know what we have. If I had to make a decision, we don't have the guy. So it's like if you're asking me to make a decision, yay or nay on Mac, right now I'd be probably no go. And so right now, don't forget, Jess, this isn't baseball where you blow it up at the deadline and you have these blockbuster trades. It happens, but you see small deals like a J.C. Jackson for a draft pick who the other team picks up the money. You don't see these big moves. So I guess what you're asking me is what happens if they lose today.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's going to change on the fly. You're going to hear a lot of rumors, a lot of rumbling. Is Bill on notice? Is Mac on notice? I don't think there's much you can do. I think you got to keep running Mac out there. The season's the season. The team you have is the team you have. You don't do much with trade deadlines in NFL, to my knowledge. Mac's not getting traded at the deadline.
No.
Zappy's not going to move the needle. So I just think you have to roll. You mentioned Malik Cunningham. He's more of a scat guy. He's more of put him in certain packages. I don't think he's even dressed for a game yet.
No, he hasn't.
Right,
what do we have to lose by putting him in? Like, we can't suck anymore. We're not good.
No.
But I do want to read you this because there was a breakdown of Tom Brady, Jrue Bledsoe, and Mac Jones, their third year as quarterbacks for the Patriots. So Mac Jones, through the first 4 games, 93, 146. So he has a 63% percentile, 898 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 7 sacks, 1-3 record, right? 1 game lost by 35 points. Tom Brady, first 4 games in his third year. He was 84 for 135 at 62.2, so Mac is already higher than him. He had 848 yards. Mac is already higher than him. 5 touchdowns, which was the same. 7 interceptions, 10 sacks. The record there was 2-2, and the game they lost one by 31 points. To Jrue Bledsoe, he was 100 for 205, which was, they don't have the percentile, but they said he threw for 1,058 yards, no touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 7 sacks, and they were 1-3, lost 1 game by 25 points. So if you break it down this way, maybe we were just spoiled with Tom Brady. Maybe we just don't remember. Maybe because they were 2-2. I don't know. But Mac, it kind of puts things in perspective.
Right. Didn't Brady already have a Super Bowl title too?
I'm just saying.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think that I don't want to say numbers lie. I mean the numbers are the numbers, but I don't think Mac belongs even in the same sentence as either of those guys. And
No,
I wasn't
agree.
the biggest Bledsoe fan either.
Me neither.
But Jrue Bledsoe did a lot of good things, put up a lot of numbers in Foxborough. Mac's just it's the decision making, and this game against Dallas kind of told the story that
you think
start seeing the turnovers and the ball on the carpet, we got problems.
Do you think he gave up? A lot of people think that Mac was just like, you know what, I'm all set. Like he just didn't have it in him. He wasn't getting what he wanted. He was doing everything the way you're not supposed to be doing it. Do you think he quit?
It's a good question. I don't know what's in somebody's heart. I always hate to say that somebody quit or somebody gave up or somebody's not hurt when they say somebody says they are hurt. It definitely looked like that, and it looked like a lot of guys mailed it in this game. So, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like it looks like the whole team, but obviously it starts with your quarterback. If you see it from the quarterback,
you're the leader, you're
and
the captain.
you see the body language from your QB, it kind of trickles down from there. So
he can't fake it.
There could be that little bit of that element in there.
They were also saying that when they put Zappy in, Mac was kind of laughing on the sidelines. A lot of people speculate they're like, good luck because you're going to get torched. Other people are saying like, oh, you can't do any worse than I did. What do you think? I just think if you're getting beat by the... Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more like, you know what? Good luck. Good luck. I just got hammered. Good luck. See what you can do in there. Yeah. There's no relationship there. I think he did give him a little fist.
Do you think that's a problem?
He did give him a little. Yeah, I said that in camp. I said they don't even look at each other. Like Zappy's out trying to compete. I mean, he's not very good, but he's still there trying to compete. I know we all liked the little zappity dappity do last year. That novelty's worn off now.
It really
I have told you that he was too small to make the plays. All right, I'm just telling you, he's not the next guy.
Roll
either.
the tape. I know.
Okay, but no, there's definitely no relationship there, and I do think that's a problem. But Max, everyone says he's a great leader. I don't see it. You heard this from Schuster at the end of training camp. How what a great leader he was. Schuster's the same guy that never was with him in early when they signed him. They never had it. You know, most guys they'll meet up in L.A. somewhere just to throw the ball around, and you could see it on those throws against the Jets last week with up the sideline a couple of weeks ago where there was no fluidity,
no chemistry,
nothing. It was just throwing the ball up for grabs and it wasn't even close to a completion. So I mean, there's some problems here. I just don't think anything's going to happen right now because I don't think there's much you can do. But I think Kraft is sitting back. Do you think Kraft wants to sit in that box every week and watch this product?
Nope.
It's really difficult. It's really tough to watch. But I'm gonna get burnt again. But because both teams don't impress me, I'm going Pats at home, and they're only gonna burn me so many more times. But I may never pick them again. Because look at the rest of the schedule. I don't see where you're picking them anywhere going forward.
I mean, next week maybe Vegas. I mean, we got the galloping chicken who's hurt. He's still concussed, isn't he? Or is he gonna play?
By the way, they started a rookie. We'll talk about that later.
Right.
They didn't go with the immortal Brian Hoyer. They went with Aiden O'Connell, and everybody said, who?
Yeah, exactly. Even though with no Brian Hoyer, that's sad. You know what? I did play football with Brian Hoyer. Like, we did a charity game with Teddy Bruschi. Yeah. And it was...
Did you see he threw the ball real hard or
something?
He
threw it not to
that.
me,
oh.
but like to like a kid, like just a normal...
Yeah.
Like one of us, and he whizzed it in his head, and like he didn't catch it, and it went off his face, and like he was just like, ha ha ha. I'm like, shut up! You don't even play. You suck.
Yeah,
all right.
Really.
All right, so we're going with the Patriots this week.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, this is it.
This is it.
I mean, like 2-3 sounds a lot better than 1-4. You're at 1-4, and I'm serious. I said this to when Dan was in studio. It's draft pick city. I'm watching more USC games. I'm looking at Caleb Williams, and I know nobody likes to see that. I know Bill wants to get to Shula, but I mean, if you're 1-4, the way the schedule's set up, I'm sorry, you haven't even played Buffalo yet. There's 2 losses. Where does it get better?
And then, like you said it time and time again, like he beats Shula's record. Who cares? Your team sucks. I mean, how many years is it going to take you to get there now because you have to play so many more games?
I was telling someone the other day, Jess, I said, he doesn't have to win another Super Bowl to validate his career. It'd be nice if he wants to get the Shula record, if you're winning 10 games, you're 10-7, 11-6, you're in the playoffs, maybe you make it to an AFC championship, you're competitive, at least you're teasing the idea of it, the team looks like it's heading in the right direction, everybody would be happy for you. But and I don't know how many people would be happy for him because he's miserable. But I mean, I'm just saying, in this situation,
even Linda left.
in this dynamic right now, I just don't think anybody's going to care if he's going to flip it and go 6-11, 5-12. Nobody's going to care. But they still needs like 28 more wins right now. At 1-3, possibly 1-4 after today. I'm not feeling it's going to take a long time to get to any 71. I mean,
right. And so how long is Kraft going to be like, hey, keep being 6 and whatever?
No.
Like, he's not going to keep it. Like, you're not going to keep him for that.
No.
And then we're going to send him somewhere else. Where is he going to go coach? He's the oldest coach. No, he's not the oldest, like, physical coach. I think mindset-wise, he hasn't moved along progressed with the game. You know who I think is the same age? Pete Carroll, and that guy gets it. I don't care how hard you chew your gum, he gets it. He goes to the gym. He works out. Bill's like,
you know who Bill's reminded me more of? And you're a little younger than me, but if you remember the Washington Redskins from years ago, they had Joe Gibbs was the head coach.
Okay.
He won a bunch of Super Bowls. Terrific coach. Then he retired, went into NASCAR.
Oh.
It started to he had a piece of like a driver and he got into that for a bunch of years and then came back to coaching. And it didn't work. The game had passed him by. Now, Belichick hasn't left the game, but it's passing him by while he's in the game. So I'm just saying, sometimes your time is just coming. It looks like the end is near for Bill.
Yeah.
Unless we see some amazing turnaround that I'm not seeing. And now without your 2 best defensive players, I mean, we're not in the business of making excuses here. You play with what you have and you find a way. And I will mention one name that I'm hoping if you want to hold your hat on anybody, I mentioned him in the preseason. He's going to get a real chance to play here. Is with Judon out, you've got Keon White, the kid who I like that they drafted in the 2nd round. He's going to get a chance to play. He's been in there already, but he's going to get a real chance to play. But now, when teams are building up a game plan every week for the Patriots, especially on the defensive side, you're thinking about where's Matthew Judon on the field. Now he's not there. Now you're putting a rookie into the fray that there's no respect factor there yet. Mm-hmm. He hasn't done anything. So now you can double team somebody else. Now Josh Uche's not going to get to the quarterback as easy because he's only getting there because they got 2 guys on Judon. So you're going to see it. It's going to be real difficult for the Pats to crack through here, especially with no offense. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, he could surprise you. All right, let's get to our sponsor because we already a half hour in and we got to pick our games.
Oh, wow.
Let's thank our sponsors, PJ's Pub in Cranston. Did you know? We're going to be there, Dean. Saturday, October 28th, the 15-year anniversary party. And I'm talking, it's going on all day. My cousin, Dave McGinn, he's going to be kicking it off 1 to 3. He's going to be playing. Then we got Kevin Hershen, 3 to 6. He's excellent. I love Kevin. And then DJ Primetime is going to be there from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. You understand, anyone that's ever gone to a PJ's Pub anniversary party, they know it's the best. They put the tent out there. They're going to have treats, a balloon artist, happy hour deals all day long. I don't know if we go right at 1, but I do want to see my cousin perform, so probably like 2:30. All right. And then they have a late night slider bar. There's a candy buffet. Jess is all over the candy buffet. Once again, it's PJ's Pub 15-year anniversary party, all happening Saturday, October 28th. And I got to text Paul on this, or Johnny. It's like really close to Halloween. Do we dress up?
No.
Well, what if we want to, like, I don't know.
I don't care if they sponsor us or not. I'm not dressing up. I'm just telling you. I dress for Halloween every day.
Oh my God, I'll get the merch and you can be Dean from Dean. Keeping score with Jess and
thing.
Dean.
I'm concerned about this merch thing.
Yeah, it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Got a credit card.
Keep working, buddy.
That bill comes in at some point.
PJ's Pub in Cranston. Don't miss their 15-year anniversary party Saturday, October 28th. All right, and once again, that's all day. Let's go back to our picks now. Let's focus. Focus on this. Because I'm going to use everything you use, everyone you pick, I'm going to use on my pool, and I could win $450.
Before we start, like, seeing where you're going to allocate 2 beans to,
yes.
we always reflect on the Thursday game usually.
Yes.
To
and I picked Washington. That wasn't great.
Well, now I said going into the season, now you talk about 2 bad football teams, but Ron Rivera, I said, would be probably the first coach can this year. But they come out of the gates 2-0, and I liked what they were doing. Yeah. Then they took only, a week ago, they took Philadelphia to overtime. Mm-hmm. Sam Howell was throwing the ball all over the field. I know he had 388 yards Thursday night, but it was all fantasy numbers when they were getting blasted. You saw that finally Justin Fields got something going with his new wide receiver, DJ Moore. 8 catches, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Nuts.
Fields threw 4 touchdowns, and they need to know if he's the guy the way the Patriots need to know if Mac's the guy, because there's
Mac's never had a performance like that.
No.
Never.
No, but the bottom line is the last time Fields won a football game, I think, was against the Patriots last year on Monday night. 14 straight losses, but they win this one 40-20. And now you're looking at 2 coaches on the hot seat. Matt Eberflus, who's a total mess over there in Chicago, but for one night it looked good. And R.I.P. to former Chicago Bears linebacker Dick Butkus, passed away at the age of 80, and they went out and honored him by winning a nice football game on Thursday night. So Dick Butkus, R.I.P., 80 years old, one of the best of all time. They nicknamed the award for the best linebacker in college football the Butkus Award. So that's how great Dick Butkus was.
Yeah, but we can't have people losing their lives every week for them to win a game. So let's just,
no, but
that shouldn't be their complete motivation.
But the Bears are off the snide. They've got to win, and now of course, Washington drops to 2-3. They've kind of come back to earth, and the Bears at 1-4 are just they're right there with the Pats.
I know. They did look good, though, on Amazon Prime. Okay, here we go. In London this morning, actually, at 9:30, Jacksonville taking on Buffalo. They're giving Buffalo the home field advantage, even though Jacksonville has been there for the last week. 5.5 is the spread, but we're going to go straight up Buffalo.
No doubt about it. Josh Allen looked terrific versus Miami last week.
Wow,
lit up the scoreboard. Diggs was off the charts. Okay, they looked really, really good. And Jacksonville, they got off the schneid last week. Trevor Lawrence had a nice game. I said Ridley would break out. Didn't have 100 yards, but he did catch a touchdown with Buffalo all day in this one, though.
Okay. Houston, surprising. At Atlanta. Atlanta giving them 1.5 at home. I don't know. This one's tough for me because Houston has looked great.
This is the team that's going to continue to burn me. It's the Falcons so far because I don't like the kid Desmond Ridder. He looked terrible last week against Jacksonville. He was throwing balls. It was back-to-back picks right out of the gates. He looked terrible. There's a team that, if Chicago were to maybe give up on Fields, he could be a fit in Atlanta. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could be some movement. I'm telling you, Ridder's not the next guy over there. I love Bijan Robinson, and I love C.J. Stroud for Houston. They won 2 in a row, and I'm going to give them the nod and a road tilt here, and I'll probably get burnt because Atlanta continues to burn me. But I'm going with Houston. I like what they're doing under DeMarco Ryans. They've won 2 straight.
All right. Hopefully they keep it going because that's what I'm picking. I got money at stake. Carolina at Detroit. Detroit giving them 10. I like the way Detroit looks. I'm going with them with or without the spread.
Yeah, of course. They're going to get the kid Jameson Williams back, too, the wide receiver who was hurt last year. They've got enough weapons there. Goff takes care of the football. Carolina, I said last week that Bryce Young wasn't going to play, but he did. I thought the Red Bullet, Andy Dalton, was playing in that one. Doesn't matter. I don't care who plays. I'm taking Soup Campbell in Detroit all day in this one.
Especially at home.
Yeah.
We got Tennessee this is a tough one for me. Tennessee at Indy. Indy getting 2.5. I don't know how I feel about this. Tennessee won last week. Indy at home getting points?
Okay,
Who's starting?
Jonathan Taylor's
Is
back in the backfield. He's practicing, so he did come back. Doesn't want to be there, but he's playing, or he might play. They're not sure.
Stupid.
Yeah, they're not sure if he's playing Sunday because he's a mixed bag. But they're at home. I don't care. Tennessee, I've been going against them, saying they look old and slow, but they keep winning football games. Taking Tennessee on the road here. Henry's had a couple of good games. I'm taking.
He's throwing touchdowns now.
Even though I do love Anthony Richardson, I think he's going to be terrific for Indy. I just think he's a year away.
Okay, New York at Miami. Miami giving them 12. Obviously, Miami. That's an easy one. New York. Thanks. Good thing I didn't change my pick last week. I stuck with the Seahawks.
I know you did. I did it just to go against the grain. I mean, New York looks terrible. Daniel Jones is putting the ball on the ground again, on the carpet, and he, like I said, he took care of the ball last year and had a nice season. Doesn't have Barkley in the backfield. He might play in this game. He may not. So that he's an important part. I don't think with or without Barkley they have a chance against Miami. Miami rebounds after that tough loss at Buffalo.
Do you think the Giants are kicking themselves for giving Daniel Jones all that money? It's been a disappointing start.
I mean, like 40 a pop for a guy who's not a very explosive quarterback. It's just a matter of he can do a little bit with his legs, but I'm not seeing it. I told you going into the season, I said the Giants take a step back this year, and you're seeing it now.
You got it right. Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is getting 4.5. I'm going Baltimore. They seem like they look more like themselves.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson quietly looks like he could be an MVP candidate. He's starting to light it up a little bit, and they had that tough loss against Indy. That was a tough one.
Weird.
But I'm done picking the Steelers, and I don't care. I'm tired of saying Pickett to Pickens. Pickett's got a little bit of a shoulder thing going on, but I don't care if he's healthy or whatever the case is. I don't care if they're at home. I like Baltimore on the road.
Who would be the backup for Pittsburgh? Do you know?
I don't think it's Mason Rudolph anymore. Oh, they got Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, okay. All right.
Who's
He used
total
to be for
swell.
the Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. Philadelphia at the Rams. LA Rams getting 4 points. I mean, I feel like Philly hasn't been looking great, and I feel like LA got somebody back. Kupp. Is Kupp coming back this week?
Kupp is possibly coming back, but the guy who's really made a difference in his place this year is one of the great names in the NFL now, is the rookie, Puka Nacua.
Oh, yes.
Nacua, if I'm saying it correctly.
He got the touchdown to win last week.
39 receptions, already has 501 yards and a touchdown.
That's crazy.
He's the reason why they won last week. As you said, the aforementioned touchdown in overtime. He came out of nowhere, the kid out of BYU. So when they get Kupp back, they're going to have a nice little 1-2 punch there. They are at home in this one. I know Philly's been kind of lackluster, but until Philly loses the game, Hurts just finds a way to win. I'm taking Philly on the road.
All right. Cincinnati at Arizona. I know how much you love Cincinnati. Arizona getting 3 points. Cincy sucks. They're just as bad as the Patriots right now.
Now I'm looking at it. I just told you off here that I'm done taking Burrow, but now they're at Arizona. I mean, how many times do I let Burrow and the Bengals burn me? I mean, 1 in 3, my Super Bowl, possibly one of my Super Bowl picks.
Arizona hasn't been playing that bad.
No, they beat
the Cowboys.
They beat the Cowboys. They blew that big lead against against the Giants. All right, I lied. I'm going with Burrow in Cincinnati one more time.
Oh, my God.
They've been terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw what Jamar Chase said when they asked him about getting open.
Yeah.
And he said, I mean, I can't say it on 790 The Score, but he goes,
Right.
I'm always effing open. You know,
So why
and
is he not being seen?
I don't know. And that's his guy, Burrow's guy. Maybe Burrow's just can't. Not seeing the field or can't get it out quick enough. I don't know.
Is the offensive line bad for
It's
Cincinnati?
not great. I mean, they got former Patriot Ted Karras on that line, but they've made moves to get it to improve the line since that Super Bowl 2 years ago.
I'm not a coach or a scout, but I'm guessing like anybody that's wants to play the offensive line can be really good at it because the NFL needs you because no one has a good offensive line. For the most part.
I agree with you.
All right. The Jets at Denver. Denver giving them 2.5. I picked the Jets.
What the heck happened in the second half with Zach Wilson? All of a sudden looked like a quarterback. It was 17 donut.
I feel so bad we trashed him
It was
last
17
week.
donut out of the gate. It looked like it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah, see ya.
And he looked and then all of a sudden he looked like a quarterback. So I don't really know what to make of this one.
Aaron Rodgers talked to him at halftime.
Something happened there. I was tired of looking at Swift in the box. I mean, enough now. Stop it. But don't forget, this is the Sean Payton versus Nathaniel Hackett game after Payton talked a lot of trash. So Payton better win this one and back it up. Jets on the road. Oh, God. That's a coin flipper. Who do you like?
I was picking Jets because it's only because I felt bad because we trashed Zach Wilson so bad last week, and then he actually played decent. He took the stupid Mr. Miyagi, Danley Russo headband off, and that might have done something, and he got a nice little haircut.
I'm going Jets.
All right. Woohoo! All right. Kansas City at Minnesota. Minnesota getting 3.5. Kansas City did not look great. If Taylor Swift doesn't go to the show, they'll go to the game, they'll win. So I'm going Kansas City.
I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs too. But I'm enough with Kelsey looking up, and I'll just play football, win games.
Dallas at San Francisco. San Francisco giving them 4. I like you said with Kansas City and Philadelphia. I'm still going with I'm not changing my pick.
Let's preface this by saying I think it's safe to say I don't want to say this is the game of the year, but Dallas, even though they have one loss, they've looked good other than the one game against Arizona. Purdy and McCaffrey looks like an MVP candidate. They look rolling. This is the game of the year right now. To me, the early game of the year, the best game. Well, last week it was Miami and Buffalo.
Yep.
But I love this game, and Purdy at home, he takes care of the football. If he doesn't turn it over, he looks like the guy, the last pick in the draft, 262nd pick 2 years ago. I like, and Kittle hasn't even got going yet for San Fran.
I know, it's weird.
I love San Fran. I love their defense too. I'm taking the 49ers in this game.
I just hope if McCaffrey 4 touchdowns last week doesn't get hurt, that would be a great thing. But if you were to get if Mac Jones were to have McCaffrey, Kittle, so put Mac Jones on the 49ers, do you think he'd be just as good as Purdy? I don't.
No.
Okay, good. All right, good, because people say that.
By the way, I want to hop back to one thing. Well, I'm tired of, if you put him here, again, I don't want to do if my sister had tomatoes, she'd be my, well, it is what it is. I'm going to hop back to Keith.
Put that on the sweatshirt.
I was still talking merch. This is going to break me.
Branding.
I'm just going to tell you about Kansas City. I mean, I love Mahomes, but he threw some couple of bad picks in that game, and it should have been another
back.
with Sauce Gardner was holding. So I'm just saying, let's get it together
that
here.
That flag came out before the
23-20 game. Casey's happy to get out of there with a win, but I just was thinking about that on Sunday Night Football. Mahomes made some really bad plays while Zach Wilson made some good plays. He did fumble it late. That was a big play in the game.
I know, and he thought it
that was turned out to be a really good football game. That turned out to be a really good game.
Yeah, Mahomes just had to shake it off.
Oh, wow.
Taylor Swift reference. All right, whatever. All right, finally, tomorrow, Green Bay at Vegas. Vegas giving them 1. I don't know.
I know. I'm with you. Well, we don't know about Garoppolo yet. The kid Aiden O'Connell played. They started a 4th-round pick. The kid O'Connell, nobody really knew much about him. Obviously, it wasn't Brian Hoyer. They're at home, and I got my questions about whether Josh McDaniels can do it as a head coach.
Right.
Devontae Adams already is not happy there. Chandler Jones was finally released. Okay, so he's on the. If you're looking for an edge rusher when he gets paroled, we might be interested in him.
We'll take him. We'll take anybody
for the right price. Jordan Love looked like a second-year player, a raw player. His last game, they're on the road. Vegas at home. Oh God, this is another one. I keep saying I'm going to pick the team I like and not worry about where the venue is. I'm going to take the Raiders in this one.
Oh, you are all right. Yeah. I circled Green Bay.
That's okay.
All right. Well, I don't know now. I don't know what to do. But all right.
What do I tell you?
Yeah. Well, I did it as we were doing it right here. So.
And why would you care about who I pick? Seeing that I'm usually mush.
Yeah,
I'm like Eddie Mush.
But you're the one you're the knowledge. You're the brains behind the operation.
What I do. I break it down, but I don't know who's going to win.
Well. We need to do that. We need to get better at that because we need people to listen.
I tell you who needs to step up. No, I can break it down. It doesn't mean I can handicap it.
Well, there's so many handicaps on the show. Clip that. That's something else. All right, so we did our weekly picks. Is there anything else you want to say about football? Do you know anyone who's going to ring the bell at the Lighthouse today at the Patriots game? What celebrity are they going to bring up there? Which celebrity wants to be seen at Gillette Stadium? Any guesses?
No.
All right. I have no guesses either. We're going to thank our sponsors, and then we're going to get to a team that actually spends money, the Boston Celtics. Want to thank our sponsor, Prout Mechanical, located in Providence. You can call them up at 401-487-4343. Even visit them online at ProutHVAC.com. That's ProutHVAC.com. They're a family-owned company. They have over 20 years of experience. They're a Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Diamond Elite contractor. They have the heat pumps, the mini split ductless systems, and if you're looking to heat up your home, the mini splits are the way to go. They're located in Providence, and they service all of Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. They offer services for residential and light commercial. So if you are looking at getting those heat pumps or mini split ductless systems, may I recommend Prout Mechanical in Providence. Their motto, quality and customer service is their top priority. Call them up, 487-4343. And we also want to thank Second Time Around Sports. If you love the winter weather, you want to go skiing, go no further than Second Time Around Sports. They have locations in Cranston and in Wakefield. Both stores fully stocked with snowboards, skis, goggles, boots, gloves, and ski poles as well. I'm not a skier, so I'll just buy the goggles and spray champagne in my face. For winter weather, they got you covered. And they have new and used and, of course, stocked up for wrestling and all your mat needs. Both stores are busier with all sports, and they have an online store as well. So that has only the new items on the online store. Everysportforless.com. We're talking about second time around sports. Everysportforless.com. Items. Maybe you can't make it to Wakefield or Cranston. They'll just ship it to you. Second time around sports. Make sure you follow them on social media. The number 2X around sports. Now we're going to basketball.
Basketball-wise, all the guys have embraced me. All the coaches. Right when I got traded, Joe was the first person sending me clips on what to do on pick and roll defense or how to run the offense and things like that. So it's been very, very welcoming, and really just glad to be here, a part of this championship caliber group. And not only that, what this stands for. I mean, a Boston Celtic. And again, growing up in LA as a Laker fan, I know a lot of my family's probably hurt, but but I know this is a blue-collar town. They love people that work hard, and they put their heart into it. And that's just the type of person that I am, is every time I step into the court, I give you my everything.
Yes, Boston Celtics, spend money. I like it. They want to win. They know they need to spend money to win. So I applaud them. Well done, Brad Stevens. We got Jrue Holiday, and we're looking great.
Can I applaud myself?
You can applaud yourself. Let's do it.
If you want to... Well,
yes.
I know you were literally going to do
Yes.
it, but I just wanted to say, if you go back and listen to Keeping Score last week with Jess and Dean, you can go on YouTube, which our producer Steve has put together,
Very
and you can
nicely
hear
done.
the sound when I'm talking about he's not going to stay in Portland. I did mention Miami as a destination. I said, but don't rule out the Celtics. I just didn't know that they could find it and find a way to make it happen.
I know.
And I did say in that particular deal, you could see a Williams-Brogdon type situation, and that's kind of what happened. And it's hard to say goodbye to guys. Brogdon, I won't miss as much. You know, he's $22 million off the bench. Rob Williams running around jumping if you get the good Rob Williams, but you just never know if you're going to get that good Rob Williams.
He is always hurt.
This
so.
deal had to be made, and let me tell you something. And I said this in last week's show. I said, well, 2 weeks ago when Lillard went to Milwaukee and Holiday left, I said that the better all-around player is Jrue Holiday. He really is, Jess. And I'm telling you, the guy's been in the league for a long time. He was a first-round pick out of UCLA, as you just heard. He said he's an L.A. guy. Played 1 year at college. He's already in his 15th year in the NBA. 33 years old, and they're not looking at him as a rental. They're working on trying to get a long-term extension with him, maybe a 3-4 year extension. I mean, he's got, he'll be 33, so he's a little bit older. But this is a nice player. This is a guy you're talking, 19 points a game last year, 5 assists, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and shot almost 50% from the floor.
Great.
And I love him.
How's his three-point shooting?
No, he shoots it pretty well, about 38 from the arc, Jess. And what I love about him is I love big guards. He's 6'5", and he can post up, and you can't post him up. He's one of the top defensive players in the league.
Great.
He's been 3-time first-team all-defensive guard and 2-time second team. So he's been on the all-defensive team 5 times.
Good,
This
need that.
This guy's a legitimate ball player. He helped the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis win it in 3 years ago. So they're getting a special player here, and they're all in here.
I like that.
My only reservations would be now you're a little bit thin up front. You got Porzingis, who's 7'3", but he's more of a stretch guy, plays on the perimeter a little bit. So now you don't have as much to bang down low. You're banking on average Al at 38 years old. There's not a lot of depth. So look for Stevens with...
They signed Blake Griffin back.
Did they sign Griffin?
Yeah.
Okay, so so there's a guy who can use 6 fouls, but I'm talking about someone that can maybe play 15, 20 minutes a game off the bench. I don't think they'd even ask Griffin to do that at this point. It's just a depth move, but right now you got Luke Cornett. They're a little bit thin. I don't know how the starting 5 is going to go. I know you like White.
Yes.
They could bring White off the bench and go with the 5 with Horford in the starting 5, or they can use White and Holiday together in the backcourt with Brown and Tatum up front with Porzingis, and then bring Al off the bench. There's different things they can do, but they're a little bit thin. Peyton Pritchard's the guy that I thought would have went to Portland because he played his college ball at Oregon. I thought he may have been in the trade, and I know the Celtics tried to go Horford instead of Williams, but of course Portland with a younger team trying to rebuild, they want the younger player. You have to give up to get, but the Celtics got a gem in Jrue Holiday, and I love the excitement with what's going on with the Red Sox and the Patriots right now. The Celtics are really the team that is going to really step up and be number one in this area right now.
No, I'm very much looking forward to it. I mean, in last year they didn't even have the stacked team, and they were doing so well in the regular season. So I'm only worried about they use all their wins in the beginning of the season, and the playoffs hit, and then like someone gets hurt or someone breaks their a vase, and then they have a cut in their hand.
Yeah, right. I was around a couple of guys the other night that are anti-New England guys. They're always going to try to rain on your parade. You make a big move here. Well, Milwaukee's still better because they got Giannis and Lillard. Okay, so no, hold on. Would I take Giannis and Lillard over Tatum and Brown? Yes. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the body of the whole roster, as far as the starting five, I'm going Boston because I like their starting five is the best in the NBA.
They're more complete, I think.
They're more complete. And, of course, Brook Lopez is a starting center. Okay, he's good. He's getting up there now. And Bobby Portis off the bench. They do have Chris Middleton, who's been hurt the last couple of years. Boston starting five, you're not touching it. If they stay healthy, they're as good as anybody.
Exactly. They need to stay healthy. Well, I mean, do you have any other NBA news? I'm just very proud of the Boston Celtics. I think they did the right thing, and I like a team like the Bruins this past year. They went all in. It didn't work out that way, but I like being excited for a team because we're not excited about the Red Sox or the Patriots.
I thought we were contenders just when you got Porzingis and you subtracted Smart. Now, don't forget, you bring back Holiday, who's a defensive player, so that kind of levels out the Smart factor because he was great defensively.
Correct.
And he's more sound offensively, Holiday. So it's a win-win for the Celtics. I love it.
I love it, too. All right, let's move to MLB because we only have 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We lost a brother, a teammate, a family member, Stays in the kids, my condolences. We're here for them. But, like I was telling the guys, this guy, one of the best teammates I ever had, and this is not BS. This guy was there for us all the time. He was accountable. He was what a Boston Red Sox should look like. I don't know if you guys noticed, everybody had their jerseys in the dugout. It was a tribute to him because I all the guys that I play with, nobody wore his jersey with more pride than Tim Wakefield. And, it's a tough day for all of us. I know it's a tough day for you guys. And, another reminder that 162 is just a game, it's just a freaking game.
Yeah, and they put a lot of things in perspective. So obviously last weekend, Tim Wakefield passed away. It's such a sad, sad story. And I didn't grow up as a Red Sox fan, but he was one of the main guys that everybody respected and loved, and he was a complete player, like a good teammate.
Yeah, Jess, and you see some of these stories that come out and things that I remember during the course of his career, what a class act he was. Obviously, the team was terrible this year, and down the stretch, they played terrible. I was still watching games, but he was doing some Nesson work for in the studio. He did some games live with Dave O'Brien. This just kind of happened kind of suddenly. It was like this just came out a couple of weeks ago and now he's gone. It's just surreal. I just can't get my hands around it and can't believe that at 57 he's gone. He did so much work in the community after his career was over. But on the field, you're talking about a guy who was let go by the Pittsburgh Pirates after a couple of seasons, came up as a first baseman, didn't cut it, developed a knuckleball just fooling around one day, playing in minor league ball, ends up in the major leagues, almost helped the Pirates get to the World Series. The knuckleball stopped knuckling. The next year, he bottomed out. The Red Sox pick him up in 95, and he plays 17 years for the Red Sox.
That's
the rest
crazy.
is history, and everybody remembers the home run he gave up to Aaron Boone in 2003 to put the Yankees in the World Series. I just found out a story this week that he went into, after the game, as devastated as he was, he went into the office and congratulated Joe Torre after they beat him. And the next year, of course, the Red Sox win it in 04. He pitched some big innings in that playoff series. I think he even went in and mopped up in one of the blowout games, the 20-8 game, which precluded him from starting the next game because he said, I'll go in and do whatever you need me to do. That was the team player that Tim Wakefield was. And then 3 years later when they won it in 07, Mike Timlin, who was a relief pitcher, had his arms around Wakefield in one of the press conferences after the game when they were all on the field interviewing guys, and he said, this is the reason why we won another World Series. Wakefield was told by manager Terry Francona that he wasn't going to be on the roster. But he was dressed. He was part of it. He got a ring. He played all year. And he basically, another unselfish move to sacrifice his roster spot for somebody who maybe was a pinch hitter or a 12th pitcher. But that was what Tim Wakefield was all about. That's what he embodied. He did it all on the field, off the field, and it's just really sad. And now we also hear that his wife's struggling with some health issues, and it's just like you say your prayers for the family. They had 2 children together, and even though he's not a New England guy, he really was a New England guy.
Yeah,
he
lived in Florida. His home.
Yeah, I think he's from Melbourne, Florida, but he came back and did a lot of stuff for the Red Sox, and he'll be missed. And it was just really, really sad, and our thoughts go out to his family. It's a tough time. Definitely,
and he was a class act. They don't make him like they used to,
No.
And that's a very sad story. And it does put things, as Cora said, in perspective about life.
It really is just, we this is what we do. We report it, we talk about it, we love it, but it really, at the end of the day, it's just a game. And it kind of puts things in perspective, like, even for myself.
Right.
When you're going through something that you're upset about something in your personal life, and then you see that, and then you realize, all right, this is what I'm upset about. Like, I think I'm good. Mm-hmm. You know, when you really think about it, in the grand scheme of things, we're above ground here.
Right.
And it's I just can't believe it, because I feel like I just saw him in the studio doing a game, or actually a live game, not even a month ago, and he's gone.
I know.
It's kind of strange.
It is strange, and it's sad, and
it was tough because they announced it like 15 minutes before the Red Sox last game last Sunday, and Kevin Youkilis was doing the color with Dave O'Brien. He was his teammate for those 2 championships, and he and I respect that. He could not keep it together. He was literally in tears.
Right.
And they interviewed Lou Maloney on the radio, and he couldn't. It's tough. It's tough, and I don't know Tim personally, but I'm a little choked up right now. It's really, really difficult. And if it was a Yankee, I think I'd feel the same. You know what I mean?
Of course,
we don't have to be fans of the team to respect it and feel for what would happen.
So young, with leaving children, leaving a wife that's sick, it really.
And we all know he wasn't the most talented guy, but like I said, he was the best team. He'll go down in history as one of the best Red Sox teammates of all time. Number 49. People forget he had 186 wins, 200 in his career. He had 186 with the Red Sox, and he's up there with Clemens and Cy Young with all the records because he had longevity. He played 17 years, so the body of work is there. But it was a tough week.
Definitely, and that also makes me say, quit your bitching. Okay?
No.
Is
that in general or me?
Oh, no, that's mainly you right now. But
that's a lot.
but overall.
That's a lot.
Listen, we only got 5 minutes left. Do you want to talk about the ALDS and NLDS, or do you want to go to birthdays? Do you want to skip it? What do you want to do?
Well, on the baseball, we're going to go real quick on it, Jess. It's like...
Rocco with a win.
Yeah, Rocco got a big win. Minnesota's off the schneid. They hadn't won a playoff game since 2004. This team they've had... playoff futility. They have not been able to get it done. They're going to move on and play the Astros. That's going to be a lot more difficult. But they beat Toronto, who's a team that's been fake every year. Managerial decisions in that series, I didn't get it. Chris Bassett, their number 1 pitcher, 16-game winner. They saved him for Game 3. There wasn't a Game 3. So, and by the way, all 4 series in those wild card series all ended with sweeps. Not one of those 4 series made it to 3 games. So that's why there was a little lull. And now
that's true. I didn't know that.
Now the ALDS is a starting up. You got LA versus Arizona. Torey Lovullo got a win for Arizona. That was big for them. And the Braves are going to play the Phillies. I love that series. Braves hit over 300 home runs this year with Acuna and the boys. Watch out for Schwarber and Philadelphia. They're going to be relevant.
So it's going to be close. You're thinking it's going to be a series.
The fighting Phillies with Hopper and Schwarber, okay. I like them. But Atlanta, they hit so much this year. And then on the other side, Baltimore's playing Texas. Evaldi got a big win versus Tampa Bay. I tell you every year, all the time, Tampa's not built for October. They can win the 162, but they can't win in October. And they got swept out. They scored 1 run in 2 games. And
my God.
And they had the home field advantage.
Sad.
Yeah.
That's almost like they're the Patriots.
So that's my quick take on baseball for the week.
All right, we got 4 minutes going to birthdays, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. All right, who we got?
All right, October 8th. Nobody's really thinking about this guy. Tony Eason turned 64. He was the quarterback on the team that lost to the Bears in '85. Grogan and Eason split the duties. Grogan had the neck brace on. Eason was the guy they drafted in the first round, and he was the guy that would just run out of bounds all the time. Everybody hated him in Foxborough. He was sort of a dog. Yeah, so Tony Eason turned 64.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday, Tony Eason. Monty Williams is 52. He's the Detroit Pistons head coach now. He used to coach Phoenix. He was coach of the year. Sad story there. He lost his wife in a car accident a couple of years ago at 44. Monty Williams, a class act, coached under Greg Popovich. On the entertainment side, Bruno Mars is 38.
Oh, happy birthday, bro. Mama G loves Bruno Mars. We saw him live. He's fantastic.
Matt Damon is 53.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah,
he's older than you.
Matt Damon by a year, 53. And the immortal Chevy Chase is 80.
Oh, I love all the National Lampoon movies. Like, I used to love him. I watched the old SNLs. And then you find out he's a jerk in person, which sucks.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. Well, I go back for him. I loved him in Caddyshack also.
Oh, yes. That was a classic. I don't have time to look for that clip. All right, we got 1 minute left. I was getting a little concerned because we were so close.
Did I blast?
You did. I'm proud of you. I am proud. I'll give you a hug. And a keeping score with Jess and Dean hooded sweatshirt.
Oh, this girl's promoting merchandise. You better keep promoting it. I got to pay for this stuff somehow.
Or we're looking at Nike, Champion, and Under Armour. Once
back
again.
at my Jack Fires.
Oh, we got to check to see if there's a deal. Oh, we got to remember. We got to say shout out to the Gentleman, East Street in Cranston. Sip, smoke, and socialize. You can watch the games there today starting at 1 o'clock. Bloody Mary specials sponsored by Stoli Jalapeno. And, of course, if you get a cigar, you are able to participate in the Lou Umberto's Grub, which is always delicious. And of course, at the Gentleman, which is also related to PJ's, at the Gentleman, they have cigar dinners, a patio. They also have intimate, stylish atmosphere. And the thing is, if you want to check out more, thegentlemancigar.com. And you could always host a private party. They always treat you right. And we got 40 seconds left.
It's over?
It is over. We did it. I got to tell you, we may just have to drop all sports when it comes to football season. We could do the full hour on football.
I love it.
I could still talk about how Mac Jones sucks.
I still got baseball playoffs. That game was rained out last week because of the
water
from the day
10?
before. Still not over yet. So we're in the finals, though. I know. Enough's enough now. I'm checked out.
But it rained all.
Yeah.
It's going to happen? Just do it.
Yeah.
All right. I wish you luck.
Thank you.
All right. Until next week, this is Keeping Score with Jess and Dean, the Dream. You can follow us wherever you find your podcasts, on Instagram and on YouTube. Thank you, Steve. Sweatshirt coming to you, my friend.
Oh, God, I got to pay for this.
He's our producer. This is Keeping Score with Jess and Dean, the Dream. Oh, I just hit myself in the head with the microphone.